8 a.m. on Christmas Eve. Snow pounding on my windshield when I was in my parents' driveway turned in. Your tree burned through the front window. My kids were bouncing in the back seat. Leja 7 held the glitter card that she made for Grandma, like a treasure. Ewan 5 squeezed his stuffed fox and whispered, "Santa Claus come here too, right?" Inside, Cinnamon and Pine were beating on us My mother's hug was fast. My father nodded over his drink. My sister Cara sitting on the couch with a wine glass, and her daughter June was already on tree and tore up gifts, as if it were competition. A tablet flashed in June's hands opened, then headphones flew rapping. She did not look up. Leah jumped to the tree and pulled on the sleeve my mother. "Grandma," she asked, brightly and polite, "where are ours?" My mother slipped past me to the adults who watched. "Your children are not important this year enough for gifts," she said flatly, like a slammed door. Evan's face crumpled. Laia was silent. Your card is bent in the fist. Back tears rose silently. Carrara's mouth bent over. "Seriously," she added. "Why money for children without a father? Waste it." Evans's sobs broke loose, loud and helpless. Leah's tears finally flowed calm and steady. No one moved. The Christmas carols insisted on that the world is joyful. I was kneeling and collected them, felt how their bodies were shaking against me. I swallowed everything that made me beg would have brought it. Then I got up, left in the hallway next to the wardrobe, and took out my phone. The list of favourites opened to a names I saved for emergencies have. Ria Trust Office. My thumb hovered over call. The room behind me, I was waiting for my reaction. I pressed down. Ria took the first ring on. "Sadie, I'm here." I went back in the living room so that everyone can hear it can. Even sobbing was 2 gulps shrunk up in my shoulder. Elle held my wrist like an anchor. Carr watched me with a grin that said, I would give in. My mum stood there, stiff, ready me for to blame the chaos. I picked up the phone and spoke to the 4 words that I practiced all week have. Now break every transfer from. The fire crackled to out loud in the sudden silence. Ria did not hesitate. All outgoing distribution. Yes, Marlene, and Gordon and Caris. I have my mother in mind reserve, with immediate effect. My dad froze up with his drink half-height. "What transfers?" He scratched, but his face betrayed him. I opened my banking app and stopped up them. Series of payments marched down the screen. Roof patching, the furnace, taxes, hospital bills, June's tuition fees month by month. Everything from the trust that my late husband for Larger and Avon with me as a trustee has set up. My mother's mouth worked silently. We thought it would be help. "It was?" I said. "Mine." Carrara jumped up. "You can't do this, Do. June, tell them what you mean." "You told the children," I said with a flat voice, "that some children are more important." Ria's voice penetrated through stairs. "I will be back within 48 Written confirmation send." "Do it," I said, and finished cool. My mother reached for my sleeve. I resigned and put Lia's crumpled card in my coat pocket. "Shoes on," I told my kids. "We're leaving." We went into the storm into it. The Verandlicht shrank behind us, and for the first time in the all night I could breathe again. We drove home. Wiper fought the white, even slept first A. The cheek crushed against his fox. Gulp on, faded in breath. Lee stayed awake, silent as a held match, and stared at the glitter, the one that stuck to her fingers. In our kitchen, I peeled wet, I took off my coats, boiled cocoa, and sat down at the table with an open laptop. Ria's email confirmation was there. "Transfer stopped, letters triggered. I have it not enjoyed. I'm just moved on because I had learned that grief has an aftertaste and my kids needed sweetness tonight. At 12:17 o'clock, I lured myself into and found the reverse mortgage extension, which I had signed years ago to please my parents in this house reserve. 1 click. Extension reject. A warning flashed. Due balance. The schedule for the foreclosure begins. I have clicked on continue. My hand trembled only after that. On Christmas morning, my phone lit up like a siren. My mum is sobbing. My father is raging. Cara is negotiating for June. I silenced it, turned the screen down and pulled the stockings that I put behind the laundry basket was hidden. Break-even squeaked at the Lego set. Laia laughed when a snow globe as glittering as yours show. Are we still loved? She asked, her voice small. I was kneeling me down and stuck her hair behind the ear. More than anything else, I said, and meant it so hard that it hurt. By the new year, the plea was about accusations. In March, a thin envelope. Apologies written in shaky ink, promised to ask her only once to see. I, Lysander, while my children built a crooked snowman, and I felt nothing that made a response needed. That night we hung Laia's card is right in the middle of our own tree, and the house smelled finally after peace.